All right, let's get to the current team here for 2022. Have you found a backup quarterback?
Well, that's the okay. So for most fans, well, of course, right? Malik Hornsby. Malik Hornsby's clearly the number 2 guy. But the more I talk to people, whether it's fans or it's media folks, they're kind of saying, I'm starting to hear a theme where it's is there a possibility, because they have a special, it's not just a package anymore. I think they want to line him up at wide receiver more. And that's something that Pittman, and you and I have talked about that here. That's something Pittman had mentioned before. Like, look, when we got him out of the portal, there was a stipulation that he was going to need to play a little bit of wide receiver. He's done that through spring camp. He has shined at wide receiver through spring camp. And then we see it a little bit in the red-white scrimmage, and we have to, well, not red-white scrimmage, I apologize, but it's what they used to call it. They didn't call it that this year. But in their scrimmage, we saw a KJ Jefferson and Malik Hornsby connection. And we know for a fact they're not going to open up the entire playbook, everything they have designed for Malik and KJ when they're on the field at the same time. We're not going to see the entire playbook. But from what I understand, and that's just listening to Sam Pittman, that's what we heard from Kendall Briles, and talking to the media folks that I have the privilege of sliding into their DMs and talking to them with about the situation. Malik Hornsby looks like a solidified wide receiver. And who would have thought, as a guy who's played quarterback since like 8th grade in pretty much no other position. I'm sure he, experimented a little bit with some other positions as most athletes do, someone with his kind of speed. But it's pretty special for someone to not only, be able to throw the football, but then to also be able to catch the football. And that's something that obviously Malik Hornsby just adding to his crazy skill set. Now, can he run routes? Does he understand the playbook? That's the big question. Can he actually can he be a prolific slot receiver or boundary, whatever they want to do with him? Can he do that? And then that leads to the question: does he stay at QB2, or do they move him mostly to wide receiver? It's going to be trial by fire, I think, Mark. I think as the season goes on, if they really like what they're getting out of Malik, and Malik likes it, I could see them moving him there to wide receiver. So then the question is, well, then what the heck? What on earth are they going to do about QB2? Where you've got Cade Fortin, this kid that transferred. He's kind of been everywhere. If I remember right, he actually committed to North Carolina out of high school in 2017, and then he went to South Florida. In 2020 he enrolled at South Florida. He's looked pretty good through camp. I've heard some pretty good stuff. He's understanding the playbook pretty quickly, and I think that's just a testament to Kendall Briles, kind of taking him under his wing and opening the playbook up to him. So Cade Fortin, there might be a legitimate argument that if they do move Malik to wide receiver, if that eventually becomes a full-time thing, now you've got Cade Fortin, who I believe has not just this year of eligibility, but has possibly an additional year of eligibility, I believe. So could he be the guy, that's next up? There's so many questions here, and you still have, they just lost Lucas Coley, who a lot of people thought was going to end up being QB3. He's off to Houston. They just picked up a 4-star receiver or a quarterback commit, Malachi Singleton, in this class. I'm sorry, we didn't talk about that in prep. I completely forgot to bring that up. But he's a 6'1", 225-pound dual threat quarterback who throws as good as he runs and runs as good as he throws. He's actually pretty quick, and he looks like he's further ahead in the passing game than maybe even KJ or Malik Hornsby was at that age, 16, 17 years old. So a lot of questions as we open things up, as we open up this book a little bit on the story of the quarterback situation moving beyond KJ Jefferson, assuming after this year he moves on. But from this point on, Malik is definitely your QB2. We'll see if it stays that way by the end of the year. I feel like it probably will. He's been recruited by Kendall since he was in 9th grade. He knows the playbook. It's just about solidifying his ability to throw the football. But if he ain't it, it's going to be probably Cade Fortin would be the backup. 6'3", 225-pounder, plenty of experience under his belt. May not be a bad option for Arkansas there.